It's supposed to be the most natural thing in the world and the most bonding thing in the world, and everyone's supposed to love it. What am I talking about? Breastfeeding. So let me preface this by saying that I did and do breastfeed. So with my daughter, I breastfed until the week before she turned 2, and I'm still going strong with my son, and he is almost 16, 17 months. And yeah, it's going well, but I will say that there is a lot of pressure, I feel, out there for people to breastfeed, and kind of like a judgment on people who don't. My mother wasn't able to breastfeed me or my siblings, and that was something she always felt really judged about. And we turned out fine. So if you are unable to breastfeed, like, don't worry about it. I know you probably feel judged and like you have missed out on this magical experience, but it's not magical for everyone. It can be magical for some people, but I'm going to share a couple of truths that people don't tell breastfeeding moms. So, this might be really relatable to some moms who are just starting out or considering their breastfeeding journey, and it might be like something that makes people who've decided not to breastfeed feel a little bit better. So, I will start off by saying that before I gave birth to my daughter, I just thought like breastfeeding was going to be like easy. I thought it was going to be something that like just came naturally. And I never had trouble with breastfeeding. I never had trouble with supply. I never had any of that. And I still did not find it easy in the beginning. So if people tell you, like, oh, it's easy, or oh, it should never hurt, they don't remember. So in the very beginning, it's like your body has to get used to it. So I was induced with my daughter at 37 weeks, and my body kind of had to catch up. So she spent like a day and a half in the NICU, and the nurses had me pumping like every 3 hours for 15 minutes after I tried latching her. And eventually, by the end of this day, I started actually getting milk. And but before that, I was like, wow, this is like, it didn't stress me out, but it shocked me because I was like pumping and nothing was coming out. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, I thought like as soon as she had the baby, like milk would be coming out. And when she was latching, I had no idea if she was getting any milk. And I just thought you would know or like feel it, but I didn't at first with her. And then like I would supplement her with formula at the hospital, and then like probably just a bit before she turned a week, we went to strictly breast milk, and we were that way for until she stopped her breastfeeding journey. But that was crazy to me because nobody tells you that you aren't gonna know. And then like eventually you start feeling letdowns and engorgement and stuff like that, which isn't fun either when you get engorged. But yeah, at first it's not nearly as natural as people say. And like when I say your body has to get used to it, that's like your nipples too. It does not feel good at first, and you have to put on those creams and stuff, because if not, like, you are gonna have cracking and Who wants that? um, and then the other thing I was never prepared for. And I don't think this happens for everyone, but I think it's common enough to mention that as a couple of months go by, you're in your groove and you think, like, whatever, like, I'm good. Like, nothing's going to trip me up now. But for me, with both my daughter and my son, around the 8-month mark, I started getting blebs like crazy. And I do not wish a bleb on any of you. So what it is, if you don't know what that is, it's like a clogged duct like on your nipple. It looks like the tiniest little white dot, but it is excruciating. It hurts like just like with your clothes on, like it just hurts all the time. But when your baby latches, it is like 10 out of 10 of sharp pain. And like it's not really comparable to like the pain of birth, because I feel like that's more of a dull, achy pain that ramps up, but it's never a sharp pain in my opinion. But this is sharp, like sharp, sharp, sharp pain. And the from my experience, the only way to get through it is to have your baby latch and to pump, and it sucks. So that happened with both of my children around the 8-month mark, and it was like a whole month or 2 months of that, and it sucks. So 10 out of 10 don't recommend blebs. And that, I will say, goes kind of hand in hand with engorgement and clogs and mastitis. I had a like not super bad bout of mastitis with both of my kids. It's just like at some point I went too long on one side. Like I don't know if I forgot to switch sides or whatever. Um, but like, you know, you get these like red, like kind of marks on you. Like if you watch K-pop Demon Hunters, it's like the patterns, but red, and it's hard and hot, and I got a fever and chills. And for me, what I have to do when that happens is anti-inflammatory, like um, ibuprofen, and a warm shower and pumping and feeding like crazy on that side, but not forgetting about the other side because you don't want it to happen on the other side. And yeah, eventually, luckily for me, it went away. I didn't have to go on any like antibiotics or anything like that. But it can be serious if it doesn't go away. Like it can become like an abscess and stuff. And like, who wants that? And then the other thing is that it's like it's really easy to just like, oh, my baby's hungry, I'm gonna feed my baby. But if you're also pumping and you're doing that after you feed, like I was recommended, and it's like if you have to feed every 2 hours and then the baby's feeding for like maybe like 30 minutes or more, and then when they're done you have to pump for 10 to 15 minutes, and then once you pump you have to put that milk away, and then you have to clean all the parts, and then before you know it, it's already time to feed the baby again. And so it's exhausting. So yeah, it is really good bonding time having that skin to skin, and but like you can do skin to skin with a bottle as well. The it's just it's really like for me, I wanted to try, and I just was like, oh, this is like what I'm gonna do. And with my daughter, I was very like stubborn about it. And then like I let her self wean, and like I said, it was up until the week before she turned 2. And with my son, I'm a lot more easy breezy about it, but he nurses so much more than she did. And I like all along, I was like, I'm going to go up to when he's 2 so that they have an equal experience. But like, oh man, the way he nurses, I don't know if he's going to give it up easily. So that's definitely something that I have to consider. So yeah, breastfeeding it can be magical for some people. It is really great bonding. There is a lot of health benefits, but there's some downsides in my opinion too. So if you are considering that route, it's just something to be aware of. Try to make sure that you don't ever miss a side, especially early on, so that you don't experience clogs or mastitis or blebs. Definitely don't get blebs, I hope. And but if you decide to go just bottle feeding, that's totally beautiful too. And if you are out and about and you're in a crowd of people, you can't tell by looking at them who was breastfed and who was formula fed. So do not worry about it. There's so much pressure. Don't let that noise like make you feel less than or anything like that. Fed is best. All right. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them below. If you like this content or you like tutorials, feel free to subscribe and like. And if you want to be a part of my community, I have a Facebook group, and I will put it in the link in the description, and that is where I put up polls and further info, and we share, and I'm building a nice little community over there. So if it's helpful, go and join. We would love to have you. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care. Bye for now.